So, I guess we are live, and I have no idea, like, it's been a while since I've gone, and now YouTube changed some settings, so I'm not even using OBS or anything else, just, like, straight camera. And right now I'm just checking out the settings, seeing how it'll work, probably even testing out my own content to see if I can hear myself and all that jazz. But it's been a while, and I thought, like, I'll hang out with a few people, talk it up. Hi, Taehin. Sarsi, wow. You people are fast. Like, how do you just come up here and watch me? That is strange. By the way, how is the delay? Because, like, for myself, like, I'm not using OBS like usually. So right now it just popped up. You're so fast, people. I love you right now. Wow. Like, hi, Nima Prime. Hi, Ali. Like, you're so fast. You're not usually, huh? Yeah, I'm sort of just checking out the settings, seeing what's up. Alexander. Wow, like I don't expect so many people to join right away. It's not like I have anything to like. I'm gonna talk about a specific topic. I was just like really like took a nap and I'm like, what am I gonna do right now? Like just chilling. So thought I'll do a live stream and talk with a few people. It's been a while. But yeah, like I was just checking out the content and what people are saying and stuff. Usually at this time I do like more sessions, but like today I work with a few people and it was like really draining. Like takes a lot of energy and stuff. Plus, it's like you look in the abyss and the abyss looks into you or something like that, or you become it. It's like you look into their dark stuff and you work with people who are involved with the rituals, pedophilia, who've been victims of so much stuff, and going through all their hard stuff, having to confront it all, and you end up actually looking at this dark side of like demons, satanic beings, and really bad people, and you clear out that negative stuff, but you get targeted at the same time. So like I end up like, so a few of those, and I'm out for the day, I guess. Sometimes, like depends on who I'm working with, but like for this moment, I was like literally just woke up after a nap, just chilling. So here I am. So what do you do after you take a nap, huh? But yeah, it's actually like really nice to see so many people just join up. It's crazy. Yeah, I actually might need your help, Alina, or something. Yeah, you're trying to stop using that thing. I have to remember that. Yeah, like there's a lot of emails coming up or other things, and I'm just like, Richard's handling most of my emails lately. Like whoever writes, I just like, okay, whoever is the client or stuff, just send their stuff that I need to address in the session, and the rest I'll handle when I can, and that's like how I work now. Hi, Free Spirit. Hi, Don. Hi, Monica. Hi, Finn. Hi, Salman. Wow, it's crazy to see so many of you here. Like, it's, I don't know, for me, just like blows my mind every time. Yeah, okay. Revoking soul contracts and you don't understand how. It's actually very easy once you get the process. And let's see, do we have stuff? Let's give it a second. Usually, Rich and I, we made these notes for questions. It's very helpful. We have this little tab of questions, and it's literally like the release method of things we're gonna address, and like how we basically look deeper into that stuff, help ourselves to talk it up and actually become more aware of problems and other things. Hi, Alex. Hi, Torex. Good to see you here. So when it comes to like soul contract revocation, it's actually a good place to start a video or talk it up. But first, like, it's very important to be aware of your surroundings and just see what is exactly that you want to work on. Because a lot of times we have tons of problems, tons of issues, tons of interests, things we want to solve, things we want to get better at and stuff like that. And, the best thing to do is just become like, okay, like, here's what I need to work on. And you look at, like, let's say your health, your daily life, your habits, people that annoy you, your thoughts, your like negative ideas and other things. A lot of things will get in your way or affect you how you're like living everyday life. But let's say we might have a present topic, and like for me, like okay, like recently I just got up and I'm gonna work on or like just stream, but I don't really have a specific topic to talk about, except right now like Solomon wrote to me and now I have something to talk about. But maybe, I don't know, feeling awkward. I'm not really awkward. Talking too fast. Maybe I'm talking too fast. So like, okay, talking too fast would be my issue right now because I'm talking too fast. I don't have specific stuff to say. I don't have like, okay, I'm gonna be straight and I have great communication skills. I'm gonna be like very, I don't know, like really great enunciation and stuff like that. Like I don't have that. Like I'm really not thinking about it. I'm not the best, giver at those speeches and stuff. But this was like talking too fast would be my issue. So it's very important to be aware of everything that's going on around you and stuff you're interested in, you want to address. But once you see it, it's not just your health, it's not just your career, it's not just money. You have to go very specific, because it is good that you want to address one big area, but at the same time, it's too big, it's too broad. When it comes to health, your age, is it your body feeling stiff, is it not having enough energy, is it your shoulder hurting? There's tons of things when it comes to health. Okay, your money issues. Okay, not finding a job, not trying to find a job, not wanting to work, wanting to chill and get money, like tons of little things. So once you have an idea, you have to be very specific. So now let's say talking too fast. Talking too fast would be like the item, and then I have a question list. So in this question list, I'm going to plug in my item. What might be some of the reasons for talking too fast? I ask myself. Well, I don't know. Like I always, like when I'm shy, or when I'm not sure of myself, when I'm not really like, yeah, I know all this stuff. Like I don't know shit. Like I'm so little compared to so many people that I admire, but I want to try my best. So I talk fast because I'm used to it. Like when I was at school, when I was a kid, I was sitting in a class, and if someone asks me a question or like, hey, Akvila, read this thing, I would get like scared because I wasn't best at communicating. Like most of my life was a quiet little thing. Please don't look at me, don't notice me, don't come. I'm just gonna sit there and unnoticed. And whenever someone calls me out, I talk really fast to get their whole attention from me to like, okay, boom, back to you. Like I'm not there anymore. So for me, is the thing. Like I really feel shy. I'm not comfortable with myself. I don't trust myself. And basically, right now, I'm talking it out. But the thing is, everything I say, every single bit, is an agreement. The thing is, the way I see myself, the way I experience life, is the way I agree to things. So I agree that I'm shy. I agree that I'm not good enough. I agree that I don't trust myself. I don't have good social skills. So now you literally you ask yourself a question, and you look at yourself. You look at your problem. You talk it out to yourself, to your friend, in a journal. You can write it all down. But as you talk about these things, you find these agreements that you believe. Like, oh well, I'm not a good talker, so yeah, I'm not a good talker. It's an agreement. I'm not good enough. I talk too fast. It's an agreement. And there's another thing, like it's like a kind of cliche. Smart people talk fast because there's so much going on in their world. It's a thing. I don't know. I haven't looked too much into the proof of the whole stuff, but hey, I want to believe that I'm smart, so I'm going to talk fast, and it's going to be a thing. It's an agreement, so it's part of it. But now, once I'm talking it up, like let's say I just use one question, and I found like let's say 20 agreements in that regard. You can keep asking yourself more questions to go deeper into these topics until, let's say, you get a realization, you get a laugh, you start feeling like, aha, I finally get somewhere. Once you feel comfortable with releasing enough stuff and becoming aware of how many you have, you literally, once you talk it out, you can write down every single thing you say, because everything you say, all your beliefs, feelings, emotions, all of that will be an agreement. So once you go there, you write down agreements, and now you have a list of agreements. So then you can go to Cameron's daily website, or you can go to Rich West's website. There are some videos where I have my own commands, like I did my own way. That you have commands is pretty simple. Okay, like I have a list of agreements that I wrote down, put it away. Great that you're aware of it. So now you go basically through the list of commands, as in like connect to your divine inner self. So basically, what is divine inner self? You have to sort of read up the definitions of words, get the good idea, because it's not just reading text. Oh yeah, connect divine inner self, remove agreements. Yeah, cool. Like it's not just reading that stuff. Reading is okay, but that's all it takes. Like, okay, you read it. Now what? So you actually have to do the process, which means you read it, you understand it, and then you do it. Connect to your divine inner self. What is divine inner self? For me, I imagine myself in the most godlike being. When I get out of body, I am so freaking powerful. I love it. I love these experiences. So now, like when I'm out of body, I feel godlike. I feel powerful. I know my abilities. I know what I can do. And once I'm out there, now I understand like what is the godlike? What is my divine inner self like? So now, as I'm sitting here in this chair talking to you, I connected that feeling. Like I just like Yeah, that's what it feels like to be powerful. So you connect that, and now you connect with your diviner self, and then one command after another until you connect to the Earth's core, like galactic core, like all of these things. You go through these commands and stuff, and once you get clear, it is very important to address, like, let's say the fourth command, like as in like call up all the agreements on this, like in the present, past, future. So you basically address this all the time, so all the dimensions, this realities, all that stuff. So make sure you cover absolutely everything. And once you covered it all, then you basically can read over your agreement list, as in like call them up. And once you call up and become aware of your agreements, another important step is like command 5, call up all reinstatement clauses. These are basically agreements that other beings have. So for example, you can remove it on your end, but like the agreements can come back after revocation, because there's a rule, like there's someone else has written it and stuff like that. So you remove it on your end and then it pops up, and you did the whole process without really thinking about reinstatement clauses, and after a while it comes back and you are like, why? I did the work, coming back, like it doesn't work. No, like we have to be aware of everything, every single step. And we know how, like the setup of governments can be in other things, like where you have to know all the single details to get everything done and not be fucked over. So that's the thing. So once you cover like the reinstatement clauses, there's also like copies, backups, mirrors, and also counterparty copies, like agreements that other beings have. So any kind of entities, people, you remove it from their end, because you can remove it from your own end, but someone else, some entity, some other person will have it on their end, and now they can bring it back, and you're like, hey, so you remove all that. And then, do the other processes of clearing it out. Like important command is like command 12, where you get rid of all the imprints, implants, overlays, all the other stuff. I'm also adding up a few more. And there's a whole list of like Cameron's Day stuff, but I'm looking into. He doesn't mention like decisions, frozen actions, past lives. So like now, like when I'm doing processes on my own self, I'm going deeper into more details and like experimenting with what if I look deeper into that. So once you cover the whole process, you basically remove all these things from your end. And now after you do this work, you literally try to make yourself like, okay, I'm consciously will not go there anymore. Talking fast, okay, I'm gonna stop. And the thing is, like, it's really interesting because like I don't know if I'm doing it consciously or if I revoke the agreement just by looking at it, because like sometimes all it takes is for us to be aware of it. But all of a sudden, my talking speed slow down, and I'm making pauses. Like, what the hell is going on? And I'm doing it consciously, or is that working? So either way, some people like, yeah, you're doing it consciously, you're shedding us and stuff like that. Whichever way you pick it, whether it's imagination, whether it's happening for real and stuff, it's a thing. That being said, I hope it's like giving you an idea. I also have a video like how to remove your soul contracts or stuff like that. So it's about like an hour long where I cover every single step and I do the whole process with you. So you can actually watch the video and see if you can do it with me. That being said, I hope I covered it, and now I'm gonna scroll back the chat and see where did I miss you guys. Okay, so there's like Fajar. You just need to be authentic. Talking too fast might be just your character. Embrace it. That's true. Like I tend to agree with. For example, I get super excited. I can be talking like slow, or like finally get in that phase where like I'm comfortable with myself. I know the phase and stuff like that. But then I get excited about stuff. Like when I'm talking about my passions, I just keep on going. Like people, you can try to stop me somehow, but it's hard. Like for example, Rich and I we work on different projects, but like right now I have a few like projects I'm working on right now, and it's super exciting because finally I'm like with all the work I'm doing from sessions and stuff, the money I get, like I save a lot, and then I start investing something in something I want to do sort of in Lithuania. So while I don't want to talk too much about it, you know how like there's this saying where you talk out loud and you put it out there and someone like God laughs and shit like that. So like I'm like sort of like I want to do it, and once I finally start it and it starts happening, then I can talk about it out loud and like, hey, here's my thing. But while it's still in the process and it's like still investment and putting things together and just like taking my own time, I don't want to put it out like, hey, here's what's gonna happen. Like it's too far in the future. But I'm a big dreamer. I have like big goals, and it's like one little bit at a time. So when I get excited about my projects, I get really passionate and I talk fast because there's so many ideas, and like while talking I have realization about what I want to do, and one thing after another, idea after idea, and like I'm just like super excited and go all over the place. So yeah. So I'm like reading back the chat. There's you talking about emails. Yeah, like with the emails, if any of you write me an email and you don't get response from me, feel free to write me 1, 2, 3 a day, spam me if I don't get back to you, because I get a lot of emails from clients and other things. So feel free to spam me and like get the attention. Like don't worry about like sounding annoying, because for me, like if person writes 50 times the same day, it's okay, like no worries. But if you want attention, feel free to spam me to keep like at the top of my inbox, and so I'm gonna get back to you. Yeah, ancient entities and their knowledge and experience. Yeah, what them? The thing is, like with beings out there, it's amazing. It's amazing because literally, like, let's say lucid dreaming, getting out of body, astral projection. Once you are out, there's so much out there. There's so much, and with all the experiences, like let's say I get out every night for hours, and with all that time, I still don't know anything. Like literally, I'm at this like place where I'm still scratching the surface, because every session I can find new race. Every session I can find new beings, and it's just amazing. Like I made a video about the Eltrons, but there's tons of other races like Marians, Golden Crown, other stuff. Like I'm taking notes. Like when I do sessions, I'm taking notes of people, and then while I do that, I write down like races and other things. It's amazing. Like some beings, their knowledge, the way they work. Like I'm planning to write these things like a little, like I don't know, like article description of like their looks, characteristics, traditions, like about that being, and then how can we connect? What can we do with those beings? Kind of like that, like from my own perspective. And then put it out there. See if anyone else can find them, can connect with them, can get any benefits, connections, and stuff like that. So there's a lot. There's a lot out there, and I can find a few. But then this is just what I find. And every one of you, if you do lucid dreaming, getting out of body and stuff like that, you can find so much more. So like, there's always like digging deeper. And then again, with all the books, I like recently people were talking about Urantia, Seth Speaks, and other things. There's a lot of advanced beings out there who channel information, connect to people, and then they write books and like basically use us as puppets to get information out there. There's a lot of books that are covering the angelic realms, which is like really amazing. But the thing is, those beings, extremely smart, extremely intelligent. Like what we know on Earth with our IQ, those are over 9,000 out there. Is actually amazing. And like they know how we work. They know how stupid we are, how easy it is to manipulate us, and putting it out there, talking in these big fancy words. Like I'm going with my accent like now, like that's fucked up. But like yeah, like they put this all big words, and it's like you're reading, and there's like word after word after word, like you kind of like don't really understand it fully. That while reading, your consciousness is like, what the hell? And you stop understanding, because your consciousness now goes searching for the word, and you're not fully conscious while reading. And now it's becoming like subliminal, like hypnotic commands and stuff like that. And you're reading and you're following it, like, yeah, huh? And you read half the book or like a few pages, and you don't understand shit. You don't know what the fuck happened. Like they just fucked you over. And a lot of people become followers with, they put it out there, and they have all these like angelic systems, like levels. Like there's literally beliefs of, after like dying here, you can level up and live for thousands of years as this, and after that life, after like all these lessons, you go up and up and up. Bullshit. Like there's so many systems that they're trying to put out there to attract people, to teach them, and there's a lot of information out there. Like they are very advanced, but the thing is, this whole hierarchy thing, level up, get stronger, go one level up, it's all bullshit. It's all a way to trap you to like okay, keep staying here, stay in this place, like one more step. It's like getting like from like kid to adult. You're still stuck in this bullshit trap. So yeah, okay, like getting back to the comments, I'm talking about like all over the place. It's not like I have specific subjects I'm going to talk about. I just like had decided like, hey, I'm going to tune in and talk to people about whatever. So whatever I see in the comments, I sort of react to it, I guess. Yeah, so prime instructor told you to fasten the presentation. It's totally a thing. Like in school, I caught so much shit for that. It's like, we have to give a speech at school for like 10 minutes. And I was done in 5. And I was like, oh. So it's a thing to like sort of like buy the time and like really go by your standards. Okay. Spiritual agreements that prevent you to heal, like your family telling you that you have a problem. Definitely, like it's totally a thing. Like diagnosis, like self-diagnosis, or like what other people are saying. It's like programming, and specifically for kids, for younger people, when you are hanging around with those that are not supporting you, with those that have their own belief system and are sort of forcing it upon you, and it's pretty bad. You can hang out with your family members, but they don't necessarily understand you, and they don't necessarily support you, and they have their own beliefs of what people should be like, and it's like, hey, you're too stupid, you're not doing this, and you don't know enough, and they're going to push their belief system. And it's such a big thing. The thing is, like, there are people who have different opinions, which is awesome, but there are people who have different opinions and force it upon others, which is not so good. For me, even though I might not agree with everything other people are saying, I do accept their point of view, and it's their own belief system, it's their own point of existence. Whatever they believe in is fine. Whatever I'm saying, this is my own experience. You don't have to follow it. Question it. Question like, okay, could I just say that? Is it true? I don't think so. I don't know. Choose your own thought, like choosing your own opinion, what you want to believe in and stuff. Filter my stuff, filter whatever I'm saying. Find whatever fits for you. Like, if I'm saying something and you agree to some of it, take it. If you don't agree to some of it, like, just okay, disregard it. And take whatever you can get from me that will be valuable to you. But if you don't get anything from me, it's totally okay. Move on, find someone else. Like, it's really a thing. But going back to these like suppressive people is such a massive thing. The thing is, like, a lot of times it's our relatives, and it's not just like not being able to say no. Like, oh no, like, thank you, I don't want food, I don't want that. But like, some people can be like literally like narcissistic, like psychopaths, sociopaths, and stuff like that, and they go over the top. They're abusive, and a lot of people, it's not just they can't say no, they're dependable on them. Like, kids don't make enough money, and usually they can't leave their family house while they're being abused or living in a way where like they're suppressed and can't enjoy life. Like, there are parents who like gaslight their kids and really treat them really harsh. But then there are like relatives, like I know some people whose, let's say, relative, okay, you can live in my house, but then, such a massive manipulation, gives you money, but whatever that person gives to you, it's like they're going to use it on their own like advantage. We're like, oh, I gave you that stuff, so you should do whatever I'm saying. And so whenever they give you something, they like, it's like you're already like sort of responsible, you're going to get shit from that. So whenever you're asking for money, whenever you need for safety, whenever you need a place to stay, it's such a control thing. It's such a control thing. Like, literally, the best thing to do is disconnect with these people if possible. Move away, get away from them. Don't answer text or phone calls or anything, because like, I noticed this with myself. Like, I was living with like relatives who are not good for me. Like, I could not be myself. I could not do things. Like, I'm like literally sitting in the house and I don't feel comfortable. Like, hey, I want to talk to people. I want to do YouTube video. I can't turn on and make a video, because like every time I start talking, someone else comes in and they start like interrupting, or like getting like aggressive and stuff. Like, oh shit, okay. So like, already like squeezed and I can't do stuff. And there's another thing. In my life, what happened mostly is like I had like dreams and things I wanted to do. Like, oh, I want to be a musician, I want to be that, I want to be that, like a lot of dreams. And then they push away, like, oh no, you can't make money with that, just like, it's just your hobby, you should go for something else. And so all of these dreams I had, and like all like my passions, were squeezed and like trapped on this stuff. And now I moved away and I'm doing what I love, and I'm really happy. And while I might not make too much money and be freaking rich, I'm so freaking happy, and I'm enjoying my life in this freaking bad place. So for me, if we can move away from these like suppressive people, this is the best thing. And now like I'm working with clients who are like 90% of my clients have these suppressive people, have someone in their surroundings, whether it's coworkers, like relatives, friends, whoever, suppressive as can be. And the person, it's like, no matter how much work you do on yourself, no matter how much other people are working on you and you're like doing all this work, once you meet this like suppressive person, it all goes away. let's say you revoke your agreements, you get rid of like entities and other things, and here comes a person, triggers your shit all again. So it brings back all these issues that you were trying to get rid of, and you basically never see the wins. So people are trapped until they move away, and there's no one causing and triggering their shit, and finally it leaves. So it's a very big thing. And I don't know how many of you have these kind of things, but I don't know, like, try to limit it as much as possible if you can get away from it. Like, you know, like, there's gonna be friends or other people who will not be good for you, who will like sort of like, yeah, your dreams are shit, you know, you're like basically talking bad about you, not believing you, not supporting you, and all this stuff. It's totally a thing. And so it's their own opinion, but it's not their life. So plug your ears and do what you want to do. It's literally the cure for me, at least. So yeah. Let's see. Let's see. What else are you saying, people? Hi. How to heal others or travel to past or future? Regarding the healing, it's a thing where on YouTube and like, let's say in America and other places, you can't say proclaim like, I'm a healer, I have a cure and stuff like that, because they're gonna jail your ass and like, you know, like shit like that. So basically, help yourself. Yeah, there's a ways you can help yourself. But depends what exactly is it that you want to heal or do for yourself and all that. But spiritual work, healthy eating, other kind of things really depends on what is the subject. And traveling to the past or future, I would say out of body or just consciousness shifting. For a lot of people assume or believe that in order to do some real badass work on yourself or others, you need to get out of body. And while it is very helpful to be out of body, you don't need to do that. You don't need to get out fully. You can just play with your imagination, because this is your biggest gun. If you can imagine, let's say, a little realm. For example, you're not seeing it. You might not see visuals, but you're thinking about it. You're wondering, okay, here's this like beautiful place with waterfalls, with forests and fresh air, lots of beautiful animals. You're thinking about it, you sort of might see a little picture glimpse here and there. Some people might not have visuals. Some people like, yeah, damn, it's, oh wow, so good there. So like different kind of people. But you think of that place, you have an intention, you sort of like have an idea of what it's like, and you're fully awake. You're not out of body. But the thing is, you are creating this. While you're thinking about it, while you are imagining it, you are creating that place. And it's not just creation. When you look at other people, when you look at yourself, you might not see entities, but you have an idea like, well, yeah, like that person is like super aggressive. Like I kind of like feel this like dense energy about them. Like there's like kind of like an energy vampire. You use your imagination to, let's say, suck out all this like cluster negatives from this space and literally see how the person goes like, as if like this massive weight leads them. So your imagination is one of the biggest tools. You can create realms, you can help other people, you can imagine entities leaving, you can imagine destroying them, tons of things. But the same thing as in like, okay, here's my body, like physical body. But what if I imagine going inside, looking at the cells, like, okay, like my heart is hurting right here. There's like a little thing, I'm feeling it. I'm not sure how to describe it. I can't really see the details, but you sort of have an idea, and you literally imagine, let's say, darker spots in your heart area, and you're sort of cleaning them out like with paintbrush and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, you fill yourself out like with this like light and energy and like love and stuff like that. Whatever, be creative. It's up to you. It's not like there are specific rules of how to do it. Practice, experiment, we'll do whatever you want. But the thing is, you can do it on yourself, on others, and literally just imagining cleaning out all these dark spots from yourself or other people, not really getting out the body, but just like looking at them and sort of like having an idea like, okay, I'm just gonna clean up their shit, like clean up their dark spots. Like if they have a thing where there's hers, I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit. But it literally helps. So your intention, your intuition, your imagination and all this stuff, it's a massive weapon. And while you can use it to create others, you can also think of, okay, here's the event that, let's say, in the past life, or like some long time ago in the past, it happened. And you think of that idea or how it happened, and now you just imagine, let's say, like this little string as a timeline. You cut it, you do a little surgery, and it's like, okay, here's the event that happened. You take it out, and you think of the event that you wanted to happen, and you put it in. Now, it's like if you've heard about George L. President, it's like the universe, my universe. You try to manifest this stuff, and it's not going to work. It's like, oh yeah, I'm a millionaire. Well, where's my money? It's not going to work like that. a lot of people, when they're using this law of attraction and other stuff, they assume that whenever they imagine something, it's going to manifest right away. But we have to, like, the best way to do it is to put it out there, like, postulate it and let it go. Like, literally the other day I was like, I made $1,000, and that was it. And I just like had a thought, and I was done with it. And I was like doing my work, I was playing video games, I went to eat and other stuff. I woke up in the morning and I made $1,000, literally. So postulate it, have an idea, put it out there, and be done with it. Because a lot of times we put it out there of what we want to happen, but then we like, oh, but it doesn't happen, it never happens, and we have all these doubts and things that like are like, nope, it's not gonna happen, I don't believe in it. So it's gonna get in the way. If you don't believe in it, if you don't trust it, if there's something like, it's not gonna happen. You just like canceled it. So you are the writer, you are the godlike being, and whatever you write in your own script is gonna manifest. There's gonna be a publisher. But every time you put something like positive, like, yeah, I'm gonna win $1 million, I'm gonna do that, there's also the same day 50 negative things, like, oh, I suck, life is bad. But all this negative stuff you're thinking, seeing, experiencing, feeling will overlay all the good stuff, and you're gonna next day manifest all the negative shit you thought about yesterday. And now you're seeing like, life sucks, I don't feel good and all this stuff, and you're living in that. So literally, fake it till you make it is a thing. If you can sort of try thinking positive, it's not just like, yay, positive, everything's right, and you see people dying, you're like, yay. It doesn't work like that. But you have to like, okay, I'm doing great, and you basically start creating it in your own universe. You don't try to manifest it. In this universe, there's a lot of pedophiles killing and other shit happening. But in my universe, everyone's free and happy and like, satisfied and stuff like that. Boom, done. I'm not thinking about it. I'm letting it go. And from then on, I move on. It's like I wrote it stuff and I put the dot and I put it away. Now I'm writing a different book. And while this book is out there, the thing is, it can manifest and come up at the same time. So there's a lot of ways to help yourself, help others, and do all this work. And like it's really works like magic if you like work with it and really practice it, because consistency is a big thing. People believe and assume that if they sort of think about the positive stuff or like try to get out of body once or one day, it's gonna happen, and the rest of your life you don't have to do shit. No. In this world, we have to work our ass really hard, because nothing is given. Nothing's like, hey, here's your stuff. Like, they're gonna beat the shit out of you before they're gonna show you a little goodie that you can get for suffering even more. So it's like you have to work your ass off really hard. Yeah. Coming back to your wonderful comments and conversations. Why not burn these agreements? Yeah, exactly. Like, that's exactly what I do. There's a lot of ways to do it. Like, literally, there are no rules of doing it specific way, and this is the only way. So feel free to practice it, like play around with these techniques, see what works for you and stuff. But literally, like when having agreements, like for example, like, oh yeah, I'm talking too fast, or like maybe I don't have a clear subject and stuff, I imagine my agreement in paper, document, little shapes, and once I'm done, collecting them all, I imagine them burning it all out and sort of destroying it. So for myself, the burning is a thing. And another thing you can try, like George L., like in the universe and in my universe. In the universe, basically all of the agreements that you have. So it's like literally you can have this paper book or just a paper and like sort of like put the middle like, sort of line, and on one half, like on the left half, you write all this negative shit and everything that's going on in this like present time. But once you're done, on the right side, write all the positive stuff. For example, I'm talking too fast. I'm talking at the best speed I can. And oh, I'm shy. I'm confident. And basically, for every negative little thing you write, for every agreement you write a positive thing for yourself, like the opposite of what you want to have. But write it in the present. Oh, I'm not good at making YouTube videos. I'm really good at making YouTube videos. So like all this stuff. So once you have both lines, sort of tear the paper in half, and this negative agreement stuff, you tear it in half, scratch it all out, burn it, whatever, like really get rid of it. But it's like a physical ritual that you can do when it's helpful, because like, you're putting your intention in there and you're doing something with it. So feel free to play around with that one. But yeah, burning agreements is totally a thing. Okay, what else? Okay, so did I come here with program life events or control your life? I believe that I control my life and I have more of it, but if I've programmed something, I'm not aware of it. Completely not. Like I'm more like, okay, at this moment, the way I perceive life, this is how I see it. And for me, like, I like to believe that I am sort of the master of my own like destiny and like have control over everything. I really have no memories of anything that I did to control this life. Like, oh, here I'm gonna meet these people and I'm gonna be on YouTube and stuff like that. Like, none of this. I was like clean slate. I'm like, okay, here's your like, there's just like a little mission that you have to do. Whatever else you do, none of my business. So like, it's more like that. Like, I like just like idea of like, okay, just do this and be done with it. Like, whatever else, like, fill up your story however you want. So for me, I perceive it that way. But yeah, it's the thing the way. Okay. Wait, like, yeah, I'm reading your comments. Traveler, Fabian, good to see people. Can you meet people in the astral realm? Yes. This is the fun part. If you've heard about the Gnostics, like it was just basically a bunch of people who would get out of body as a group. Like there's 5, 10, 20 people who gather together, they get out of body, and they together have these experiences. But the thing is, like when you get out of body, when you do astral projection, when you do lucid dreaming, you can meet a bunch of people, people you know, people you don't know. But it's like it's not just like you're going out there and you're constantly alone. Like, oh, like I'm the only human here from Earth. Like no. There's actually a bunch of people. Like literally, I've had experiences where I get out of body, I'm on a spaceship, and I'm just like chilling, and I'm just like walking around, like looking at these like various races, and like I told about this experience on like on Rich Channel and stuff. But like literally, there's like various aliens and stuff, and sort of like okay, just gonna chill for a while. So I sit down in this like sort of bar lounge area, kind of like. I'm just gonna have a drink, like this, like oh, like what is this stuff? So like as I'm chilling there in the bar and drinking, there's another human like, hey, you're from Earth, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah. So we literally start having conversation, and while being out of body, while having conversation with another being, I found out that this guy is from Japan. We literally exchanged emails, and while coming back here, we found like had communicated, but like I'm not the person to trust others easily. It's like weird. Like as much as I want to, like I'm really kind of like careful being, I guess. So like it's like that person like really wanted to meet me and like come and something. I'm like like maybe not. So like let's keep it in like emails and stuff. And that's like where it cuts. So I'm being careful. I'm trying not to make sure like I'm not there. Like there's no setups or other kind of shit because you never know. There's actually might be like people from military and stuff like that. Like I'm being paranoid now, like, but whatever. Yeah. Like so meeting people in the astral, totally a thing. You can go out of body with your friends. You can actually set an intention and meet people who passed away. And like I literally met Roddy Piper, and he's such an awesome guy. Like it's like seeing him in a movie like The Live was great. Watching his videos, wrestling and stuff was awesome. But meeting him in person was one of my dreams. Like like hey, he's an awesome guy. I would like love to shake his hand or like take a photo and stuff. It's like people collect lots of things like coins and other stuff. I literally collect photos with people that have impacted my life, so that I would like sort of remember which person did what and stuff like that. So like it was one of the sort of ideas that like I'm gonna meet Roddy Piper and have a photo with him. But then heart issues, like bullshit. But literally meeting him, such a warm guy, such an awesome presence. It's like, wow, just like I just can't describe it how good it is. So meeting him, meeting others that like actually passed away, like your relatives. Like I have great grandfather. I lost him a few years ago, and he was like my hero. It's an awesome story because like he was like an exile, or well, like with my country history and stuff, like when Russians came in and stuff, and like basically she was everyone, or like like really takes over the stuff, and like my great grandfather was not sort of listening to them, and he was exiled with his whole family. So he was like in the concentration camps and actually survived in Siberia for 30 years with his whole family, brought them all back, and like there's tons of other things. But for me, he's my hero, and when he passed away, it was like a shock, because like I was a kid, I didn't understand much, like or like I wasn't really aware of things. But then when there were like lots of regrets, like damn, like I wish I wouldn't have listened to my relatives as much. As in, like, I wanted to spend more time with him, but they're always like, oh no, he's too old, like, it's not going to be interesting for you, go with the others. So, like, I was like following what others said, but I always regret like not having conversation and other things. So meeting him in out-of-body experience, talking to him, seeing that he's doing good, he's free, that he's like away from this place, and that, you know, like with all his connection, it's like, it's amazing. So meeting others in out-of-body and astral travel, totally a thing. It's awesome. My thoughts on astrology. I think it's like 50-50. It might be an addition. It's like literally, people have lots of tools. If you can use a tool to help yourself, it's awesome. But for me specifically, I don't really follow it. It's not like I'm gonna like, oh, like they say that there's like a zodiac, like, you know, like my zodiac sign is Cancer, and here's what the day is gonna be for Cancer, and then they give me a bullshit day, like, you know, like, oh, it's gonna be like this and this and this, and then if I believe in it, if I follow it, I'm gonna create it for myself. So, you know, like with all this stuff about, let's say, Corona, with other, like, all the other predictions and stuff, I believe that whatever I believe in will happen, and my beliefs will choose specific timelines. For example, okay, here's my zodiac sign, here's this thing that's gonna happen and stuff. Follow whatever else is shown at me and believing that, like, okay, you know, like today's gonna be bad, like, oh shit, now I have this idea and I'm gonna linger on it, I'm gonna dwell on it, and sort of pull it in. Well, I can go on that line, I can go on this like timeline where, okay, I believe in the zodiac sign and like the whatever predictions and other stuff like that is, but I can also like, fuck all that shit, I'm gonna have a nice day. And when I choose to have a nice day, I have a nice day. So while it might be a useful tool to help yourself to understand things and other things, it's awesome. But for myself, I just like, okay, cool, I sort of have an idea, but I choose my own way. You know, same with like, they sort of have these things like, we're like, oh, like the world's end is gonna happen, or like there's a big meteorite coming in, or it's like, so like everyone's gonna go underwater, like earthquake, whatever. There's like tons of that stuff, and once people follow it, once people go for it, they might like actually get into the reality where that shit happens. And so like literally, for people who believe that the world end will happen at the 2012, they died. For people who believe, they're like, fuck it, they're all here. So, you know, this is sort of my understanding of it. I'm not saying this is the only way that I'm right or anything, but this is the way I see it. So, yeah, anyway. Do I have any suggestions for creative blocks? It really depends in which space you have it, like, you know, like writing, music, and other stuff. But like, creative blocks. Again, like, I feel like soul contract revocation, or just simply asking yourself questions, like, you know, like, okay, having creative blocks, and feeling like you have creative blocks, or just having creative blocks, ask yourself questions. What might be some of the reasons for having creative blocks? You know, like, and basically, there's like a whole list that I have here. Rich has on his website and stuff. I'm sorry, my cat is like wants in. Come on in, kitty. There you go. Do you want to say hi to people? Come on, cat. Let's go say hi to people. There's my buddykins. There's my buddykins. Yeah. Say hi, people. He's a good cat. Anyway. Okay, move on. Yeah. So when it comes to creative blocks, Rich has created like tons of these questions where you just ask yourself a bunch of it. But the thing is, like, you look inside, and the way you understand reality, you get it all out there. So, you know, ask yourself, like, okay, what might be some reason for having creative blocks? Is it new to you? Like, is having creative blocks new to you? What does it suggest? Any like sort of advantages, disadvantages, survival things? You just ask yourself a bunch of questions, but try to talk it out. And as you're talking it out, you might realize that sometimes your problem is actually a solution. Because if you were like finally out there, finally being creative and doing it, it might be as like creative block might be a solution for getting like too much attention, getting maybe negative comments. Like you want to get it out there, but you're afraid of criticism, or you don't want to get judged and stuff like that. So you're like, I'm just gonna have creative blocks for a while. Like I literally had it. I had this sort of thing happening, not for creative blocks, but like, let's say my work on social media. Like there was a time where I have tons of clients, and I can't overwork myself. Like the work I do is more like energetic and spiritual. So I literally burn myself out sometimes, and I have to watch it. Like I have to make sure that after all this work I do today, I have plenty of left for another day. And if I don't do enough work, or let's say I do plenty of work, but then I leave myself and and next day I just can't do any work. Like literally no visuals or other things kick in. Like sometimes shit happens. So there were times where I feel inspired to make a video and I have great topics and I want to put it out there. Like I learn a lot of stuff about Astral command and some are like Archangels and stuff like that, and I want to make a video. But I'm like, oh shit, like if I make a video, all these people that are waiting for their sessions, they're gonna write to me. And I don't want that attention. I don't want to like deal with it. So now it's like I have more confronting it. I have more awareness of why am I feeling these ways and stuff like that. But literally, like I stopped making videos for a while because I was like sort of feeling stressed about like or not wanting to face my other problems. I didn't want to face, for example, people writing to me and complaining like, "Hey, where's my session? Like, you're making a YouTube video, but you're not working on me, bitch." I'm like, fuck. So like literally now I sort of like, okay, sort of I can't work on others because I fuck myself over with doing too much work and I'm burned out. So now I have confront and I can say it out loud, but like I stopped making videos for a while because of that. Like so it's like it's kind of like funny. But like if you have creative blocks, you talk to yourself as like if you have anyone to listen to you, have them ask you questions. Just be a two-way comm, two people talking to each other, be curious and have people ask you questions about this stuff. If you have any friends and stuff like that. But if you don't have anyone to listen to you to sort of understand you, ask those questions to yourself. You can talk to yourself in your head, in the journal, in other ways, whichever way is best for you. After that, you can look for agreements for possible entity clusters, because literally sometimes we go out, we hang out with people, we go to mall, and these entity clusters jump from someone else to you, and these entity clusters have their own life. They have their own thoughts and ideas and stuff like that, and like they might come in your space with like like the whole entity cluster has a personality of creative block. They're not creative. They can't create anything. They can't write anything. They don't know how to do it. They're not inspired. They're lazy and stuff like that. So this entity cluster jumps to you, and now you're carrying it with yourself, feeling like you had a creative block when it's actually not from you, but it's from entity cluster. So if you sense anything like it, you can sort of where you're using galactic vacuum, you're visualizing it, you're doing any kind of other work, get rid of entity clusters that might have these things. So that being said, I'm gonna look more into the other ones. Do I believe in witchcraft? Yes, I do. I sort of engage with it every day because a lot of people I work with, they go through a lot of this shamanic work. They go through black magic and stuff like that. There's a lot of victims of witchcraft, and it can be totally a thing. In my reality and the world I live in and things I believe in, it's totally a thing. So yeah, I believe in it. Like I sort of see it every day. Okay. Yeah, let's see. What else is people actually saying? So I'm just here, like again, like chilling. I also might adjust like my laptop a little bit. Like I'm having this like little issue. Basically, my cat was jumping around, and they dropped my laptop. And so there's a few issues. Like sometimes I have this ghost mouse where the screen is gonna click itself tons of times, and like I have to solve that. But now it's like the charger, like my charger cord goes like from battery to plugged in, battery plugged in, battery plugged in, and so sometimes it unplugs, and no matter how much you use the wired or connected or like just try to update the hard like sort of driver stuff like that, it just like doesn't connect. So like sometimes I have to like really move the wire and get a specific connection to get it working. So what I'm saying is like my battery right now is on well, I have 75% remaining, which is like 2 hours. So we have plenty of time to talk it up. And I'm not sure if I'll be here that long, but I'm just saying. All right. Lena, you love my session. I really appreciate that. Like I really appreciate people trying it out with me, like whether this free work or you pay me, it doesn't matter to me. I appreciate the money, of course. But if you notice my work help you at all in any possible, I love the feedback because sort of like it brings up like, hey, I can do this more. Like so, it's a thing. Anyway, yeah, okay. Would be interesting to hear if you have witnessed any new changes in the Matrix or Earth in the past month. Depends which way we'll look at it. The thing is, like a lot of people, let's say they're dealing with coronavirus, and now there's like lots of wildfires in America. There's like Australia going under this whole police state with police like messing with people if they say anything out loud and all. It's definitely a thing. In my world, I'm tuned out. I literally decided that like, or like not decided, like I'm focused on other things. And while I'm not focused on Corona, it's probably been the best thing in my life. Like, well, not the best thing, but like, I'm creating my own belief system about how things are working, and I'm focusing on the positive side. So while I'm focusing on the positive, for example, like, hey, people are, everyone's happy, and I'm sort of like creating this belief system in my head, I'm seeing the changes in my world. Like where the government, like I see, like, like our politicians making like, oh, like fuck Bill Gates and fuck like the whole World Health Organization and stuff like that. Like, we should stop wearing masks. We should like stop doing like this whole quarantine things because it's with bullshit and stuff. So like I live in a while, like I live for a while, having like sort of experiencing my own things, like have just like disconnected from anyone else who's gonna say stuff to me. So I unplug myself from that stuff, and then I'm just like live with my own experiences, and I'm like focused on the positive stuff. I'm having fun, I'm enjoying myself, and I'm like enjoying my life. And next thing you know, I tune into the social media, and like for example, like politicians in Lithuania are pushing like, like fuck that shit, like they don't want to fall for them. Not everyone, but like specific ones. They start like to come up and like really go away from that stuff. So like for me, the way my reality works is everything's like really good from my end, and it's terrible to say. It's terrible to say because like people are actually suffering and there's a lot of bad stuff going on. But for myself, I create a really good life and I'm enjoying it. And while I'm focused on really, like whatever's here, I'm aware of issues. It's not like I'm ignoring it. Like, I'm not gonna listen to that stuff. It's not happening. Like, it's not denial. It's more like, okay, that's happening, but I'm gonna create my own life right here, right now. And like while I'm focused here, this straight line that I'm in is actually really good. When I tune in, like to the airlines, I'm like, oh shit, like this, there's that. So for me, there's like changes like that. If that sort of answers your question, for me, like I'm seeing lots of positive changes in my own world. But yeah. Okay, what else? Yeah, John West is hoping I will do more of these streams. Okay, yeah. Sorry that you have to go, John. But like, yeah, for me, I was just like trying out. Like, I was taking a long break from YouTube, from making videos and stuff, because like right now, again, like I'm interested in tons of different things. It's not just like I'm doing the spiritual work and it's the only place. I have lots of different projects. Like for example, on my free time as a hobby, I translate and edit anime. And it's my hobby. Like, you can see it like over there. I've been doing it since 2014. It's like 6 years and still ongoing, and it's an everyday thing for me. It's my passion. It's something I'm interested in, and it's just like one project. But from there, I'm opening up other projects, and like there's tons of different activities I have, and so I'm giving more priorities to things I love so much that I sort of like left YouTube for a while and other things. But like right now, I'm sort of, coming back, feeling like, I don't know, like maybe I didn't feel like I have anything to say, or just like my whole perception or what I was focusing wasn't fitting the YouTube, like or like my community specifically. And then again, like I wasn't like focused on it. So like right now, like I'm doing more sessions with other people where I am finding new stuff. Because like, for a while it's like I do sessions, but it's like very repetitive. Like a lot of clients have very similar stuff going on, and it's like oh, okay, same old stuff. Just do this. It's not like their cases are not different. It's just like same old. Like, okay, yeah, he's messing this whole hierarchy, specific beings, you get rid of them, so like traps and stuff like that. But like, I wasn't really learning, and that's like maybe a thing where I kind of felt like it was like a downhill for me, where this whole work I like started doing. So I started with like learning, like getting out of body, exploring things, and like, oh, finally I learned something new. I'm gonna put it on YouTube, and then it turned into a business somehow, and now I'm making money from it. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's like kind of like. So like literally, like lately, I was like sort of changing up my stuff. It's like Gary Vee thing. You say like like fail on purpose. So I changed the whole business concept. Instead of doing live sessions into remote sessions, and then again, instead of like working with specific things that people told me, I was sort of like with certain clients, I allowed myself to have more freedom. And I was like, okay, this is what they want me to work on, but I'm just gonna sort of like take the leash away and do whatever I want. And those sessions where I actually did whatever I want, having plenty of information about the client were actually the best, where I actually find lots of information, learn things, but also do the work where people feel like tons of change. Where like they're like, damn, like I woke up this morning and so like, it's like it's like a blow up in their world where they're having tons of wins. And the thing about this work, I think it's like very important to notice stuff. Spiritual work, whether someone else does it on you, whether you're doing it on yourself, you have to be aware that when you start working on yourself, you get attacked. The thing is, we're living in a system, we're living in a place where we're not supposed to be free by someone else's standards. And so if you start fighting back, if you start doing something else, they're gonna target you, they're gonna fuck with you, and you're gonna like have wins. So if you notice these paradigm crashes where one day you're doing great, you're enjoying your life, and the next day it's a crash and you are bored and you want to die and stuff like that, it's very common thing. We are not allowed to do that stuff. As in, imagine you are a slave and you're trying to break the chain to be free. They're not gonna want you to be free. They want you to go like hold your chain and make you a slave and do other stuff. Like it's like, hey, where you going? Come back. So they're like sort of constantly pulling on our chain, trying to show who's the boss and stuff. So whatever kind of work you're doing on yourself, you start fighting back. You're fighting back and you're becoming free, and you have your like you're getting your powers back. They don't want that. So you're gonna get interruptions. So whether someone else does work on you, you do the work on yourself. For a few days, for a few hours, for some time, you might feel like I'm winning, something's happening, finally I'm feeling good. But in a few days, in a few weeks, you're gonna crash again because you're being attacked. Because if you were feeling good too long, they're not gonna benefit, So people get attacked if they do this kind of work. And you have to be able to confront it as in like, okay, this is a war. This is a war and I'm going in it. And so you consciously know that like if you start fighting back, if you start getting better, if you start working on yourself, you're gonna get attacked. But after you know that you're gonna get some blows and you might get like down on your knees and you might be suffering, you have to know that you have to get back on your knees, you have to stand up, and you have to fight back. And once you do that, like it's constant fight, but once you become aware of how are they messing with you, what are they doing, you can actually have ways to free yourself and actually win the fight. So it's hard, it's not easy. It's not fun at times. It's really hardcore. But if you can work on that every day, if like on the days when you're all fucked up, don't dwell on it. It's not like you have to keep working on yourself. Let it be. Handle it. Handle the sadness. Handle all the bullshit. Handle all the negative. Deal with it whichever way is best for you. But after that, stand up and work again. And this constant fight, eventually they start backing off because you get more power, because you have more awareness, because you have more control, and they have harder time to fuck with you. So all of a sudden you start winning, and it's like small little bits at a time. It's like our life starts with like ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. It's constantly fucked up, and we have to get in a level where it's good, it's bad, it's good, it's bad, but it's not like massive shocks. It's like, okay, yay, huh, yay, huh. It's kind of like that, but like get more balance in their stuff. That being said, I should like get back to the comments and sort of reach out to you people. Did I just pull a Vegeta reference? Like over 9,000? Heck yeah. Okay. Okay. What else are you people saying? Hi, Didus. It's good to see you. Yeah, like it's actually amazing that so many people are watching me. Like, always blows my mind away. Like, I don't know, like it's like surprising, and I really appreciate you all. Like, I just want you to know that stuff. Like, like seeing you, that is seeing you, you Unplug the Matrix, and you other people, Enigma Prime, John, every one of you. It's like, wow. Like when I started streaming, I was like, oh, I'm gonna like took a nap, gonna talk to people, see what happens, and I've sort of thought like I can talk about one subject and be done in like 5 minutes. Here it is, like about an hour later. I'm enjoying talking with you all. It's like crazy, but like I really appreciate that you are interested in me, and I have to say, and like you're here interested to talk with me. So it's like it's awesome. Okay. Yeah, are these gods ETs or thought forms? Depends which one you're talking about, because like it's really interesting. Like lately, when I'm meeting with the religion in my work and like working with clients and stuff, like a lot of these gods, they're real. They're out there, but they're also ETs, and there's a lot of like higher ups. For example, there's Jesus, but there's gonna be like quite a few Jesuses out there, and so it's like there might be the real one by the religious figure, but there's also gonna be the entities putting the label "I am Jesus," and like so whenever people are praying, there's actually entities gathering up our energies and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of that stuff going on where it's deceptive. It's so easy to put the label and pretend to be someone when they're actually are messing with you and all this stuff. But at the same time, I'm seeing like this whole hierarchical structure where, let's say, the being from Bloodborne. If anyone of you played Bloodborne, if you have time, Google the being called amygdala. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, but it's like very similar being to where it's like actually kind of like ghoulish, like skin and bones and stuff. It like has like 8 arms, or like, you know, like quite a few arms, really, like very creepy like, but at the same time like the whole head is big. Like he's that being is like massive. It's like, you know, like bigger than a few like planets and stuff. And the whole being, let's say the head is kind of like a golf ball, where like there's like a lot of these bumps and holes and stuff, but each little bump is kind of like the eyes, like creepy, like weird being ass thing. And the thing is, like when I'm like connecting to this being, when I'm seeing it, it's like that being is above all deities and gods and stuff, and basically controlling them all to fuck with humanity. So whenever we have, let's say, people are praying in like churches, or they have like they're asking for something, it's like they're constantly gathering up our energies, our intentions, and everything's like it's constantly being sucked out. And again, like not for everyone. It's not like the thing happening. This is the thing. That's how it works. It's like one of the scenarios. This is like one of the beings and like one of these structures how it works. But there's tons of these things. So like just because I'm saying it doesn't mean that everyone and everything is like that. That being said, this ghoulish thing is like kind of like using all these like deities that we know, certain groups, right? And really trying to harvest energies. And whenever people are asking for things like, please help me, like, you know, like my life is fucked up and stuff like that, like they're asking for stuff. These deities and these entities, it's literally they're gonna see what we want and sort of, okay, this is what I want, and they're gonna try to take it away. They're gonna try to cause more problems. And so like whenever we ask for something, whenever we're enjoying something, this being knows what we like and like the good stuff, so they're gonna target that. They're gonna try to take it away so that they could cause like more fuck ups in our lives and more like bad times. And once we're experiencing all the harshness, we're like, oh God, please help me, and blah blah blah. So we start praying again. So it's like constant loop where they're gonna fuck us up, and they're gonna take our stuff away, and then they're gonna sort of like, okay, now you're suffering, come on, pray again, I'm gonna give you stuff. And so like they're fucking with us like that way. That being said, yeah, I'm gonna move on to other questions. What do I know about reoccurring witches in dreams and the astral? It really depends. You know, I can't say all witches are good or bad, like specific beings. We're talking about specific beings. But really depends on what happens in your dreams and in the astral and how is it affecting you. A lot of people, I noticed that a lot of people that I connect with, not everyone, but like there's like, I don't know, like 20 people who have met witch beings in their out-of-body experiences in the astral and lucid dreams. They got some rituals by witches. They had some signs and sort of like abused by witches. And after that, they completely lose memories of their dreams. They go into this amnesia state where they can't remember stuff. And like, it really like after this one event where like witches appear, they get down with. But again, a specific group, because there's other beings like meet witches and they're astral out of body or like lucid dreams and like finally learn information. So literally depends on who are you meeting and how are they affecting you, what's going on and stuff. So pay attention and make sure if it's anyone negative, disconnect as much as possible. You know, like try to get rid of them and stuff like that. But yeah. All right. Okay. How do we start incarnating on Earth if we choose here? Really depends on people. But like there's various stories of like, you know, like beings creating this place or actually trying to trap us and stuff like that. This place being good and then getting fucked over, like lots of these ways. But let's say here's Earth, and how the hell did we get here? So a lot of people, let's say, are in the 4th dimension, 5th dimension. They're somewhere, they're doing something, and they're enjoying their life. A lot of times, people are working as healers. They're doing some kind of work on others. They're creating planets. They're being warriors into destruction, into, let's say, killing and stuff. And now they're out there in the multiverse. There is no karma. So people can do good stuff, bad stuff. They can go into the planet of, like, let's say you're a guy and you go into the planet where there's millions of girls and you're gonna fuck them all, rape them all, make them your sex slaves, have all the kinky stuff going on. You lead that life, clean slate. Okay, now what? No one's gonna fuck with you for that one unless you actually really beat someone up and they're gonna have a grudge on you, so they might come after you. But like, it's not like, oh, you've been a bad being, they're gonna come after you, they're gonna kill you for that, you're gonna suffer for millions of years. If you don't decide that yourself, if there's no beings fucking with you after that, not gonna happen. So people out there, they don't talk about karma that way. It's like, okay, You have your own conscience. You might feel guilty about doing something and like, oh, like I actually fucked someone over. Maybe I shouldn't do that way. Okay, from now on, I'm gonna be a better person. And then you set your rules of what you're gonna do. So we change how we live, and what we experience, and we can interact with beings who we abused or who abuse us and stuff like that. But it's not like there's karma and people like, okay, I was a bad being. Please make me suffer. Doesn't happen that way. Like this is bullshit. So when we come here, it's more like out there we experience so much stuff, and let's say you might live an awesome, funny, great life for billions of years. For billions of years, love, purity, joy, everything's fun and easy, and you want some challenge. And you're a great healer, you're a great builder, whatever story you want to pull about yourself, or maybe your passives and stuff. But you see yourself as like, I'm a good being. I like helping others. I like doing things. I'm a leader. I'm gonna show new ways. And so we have lots of things about us, lots of values, so like our own story and stuff. And then we meet people, we hear about things how, hey, there's a place where people are being fucked, and you are the healer, you can help them. And there are those who try to deceive us, who are gonna spin the story in a way where they're gonna look for our values and target that. Oh, you're a healer, you like helping people. There's people you can help there, come on, they need your help and stuff. And they're gonna try to bait you and stuff like that, pull you in and stuff, and they're gonna spin the story, be great sales card and stuff like that. Like, so sometimes we fall for these traps. Sometimes we have like, oh shit, like people are actually suffering, I want to go help them. Or sometimes we're like, hey, adventure time, oh fuck, I got fucked over. So like really tons of ways of how we get here. Sometimes people get trapped, sometimes people are put here against their own will, sometimes people are going into these like soul traps and stuff. Lots of ways to end up here. So really, it's not like everyone here has the same story of why we're here. Everyone's different, like really. So, this solo 24. I could have a serious question. How are the connections with this COVID-19 connection and the lies behind it? Is there something visible in the astral? In the astral, yeah, there's some stuff going on out there. And there's definitely some stuff. And like, there's wars going on where people are like actually trying to control humanity, and like it's again like being pushed towards the transhumanism, where the AI machines and other beings wants to take over. Again, like being chipped, being into this whole, like 5G and other things are going in. Like they're really trying to push this agenda where people are controlled and enslaved, and now it's becoming part of the program. So it's like there's that kind of stuff going on. I've met another part of Bill Gates. It's not really connected to the earth, but I did meet the other aspect of Bill Gates, and he's complete asshole. Like it's not just this life. It's like there are other parts of him other than multiverse, and complete psychopath. What else? Like, yeah, like just constant fights, people, but like again, it's not like good and bad. The more I look into this, it's not like it's good and bad, and like like either this side wins and everyone's good, or like this side wins and everyone's fucked over. It's like two sides, and these both sides have their own interests. It's not like they're gonna come and save us. It's more like this side wins, and like, hey, we're gonna have these kind of changes. The wins is gonna these kind of changes, but like we're still under the control and stuff like that. So like, there's a lot of beings who are trying to help us, who are trying to share information, who are trying to channel stuff. But in this like massive war, most of this is targeted for disconnecting people from this place. The best way to get out is what I'm seeing from other beings, like like Pleiadians, like Arcturians, other beings. They're sharing the message of disconnect from this place, disconnect from yourself, fuck this self, fuck this body. It's not like, of course, unless you want to. I'm not plugging this up, but people and beings out there are saying that like, hey, the best way to be done with this whole crap and shit is to plug out. Get away from this duality, get away from here, learn something, forget that you are a human body and the specific experience. You're not just a critic, you're not someone else. Your consciousness. Get away, be free, and do your stuff. Like, this is the best way to get out of here and like sort of take apart this whole trap. Or they're trying to pull a lot of beings out there. Like, a lot of people are being pulled out of body, and it's like trained to being soldiers. Like, physical body falls asleep and they might not be aware of it, but the consciousness gets taken on the ship and now is being plugged into some, let's say, clone body, or not specifically your clone body, but like some organic body, or like some other bodies. Consciousness put in the body, and then they train beings. Like, they give you the sort of like, okay, here's the plan, this is what's going on. They give you time to practice your body to get like really in control of it, because you're now like a super soldier. And then they put beings into war with like this whole dark side, good side, whatever you want to call it. So there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of people being Like their consciousness is being taken, put in bodies, and they have to fight and stuff. So a lot of that. But yeah, there's a lot. Um, okay, and then Ryan, you're wondering which angels or like which archangels are actually on our side. It's really the thing. You know, so it's not like all archangels and angels are bad. It's not like if I say that our Archangel Gabriel or Michael is bad, doesn't mean that it is for real. There are a lot of aspects of them. One being, let's say, Archangel Gabriel. And then a bunch of other beings, his copies, his other selves, entities, other kind of beings putting a label or trying to be him or someone else. So like let's say we have Archangel Gabriel, but at the same time we have millions of them. Which one are you going to tune into? The good, the bad, some ugly, weird shit? It really depends on who we tune into, and like it doesn't mean that like all Archangel Gabriels are good or bad or specific ones. It depends specific being who you connect to, because there's lots of aspects, lots of entities, lots of beings sort of taking over or playing the role. It's like, you know, like you're playing, let's say, a video game, and humanity turns to play this video game, and it's a single player. Let's say this game is a single player, and you're gonna choose to play, let's say, Vegeta or someone or some specific character, and millions of people are playing this one specific character on their end. We're like, let's say, we're playing Red Dead Redemption, and we're playing as John Marston or we're playing as Arthur Morgan. Millions of people playing as Arthur Morgan. Which one is good? Some people choose to play it as a good guy. Some people choose to play it as a bad guy. Some people are in the middle. Some people are antagonizing. Some people are happy and cheering for others. So it's like same with the archangels or like other beings out here. If there is an archangel fucking with you, there's going to be the same archangel helping you. Or not specifically you, but there's a whole group. So it really depends who's tuning into what body and what kind of role they're playing. So there's definitely good ones if you know how to look for them. And knowing is basically be specific about what you want for. Like when you're collab for that stuff, make sure you're asking for stuff that's going to benefit you the most. And again, just because I'm saying benefit you the most, it's not like, oh, be selfish and stuff. Yes, be selfish, because you have to take care of your own first. And if you're happy, you can make everyone else happy. If you know how to do stuff, you can help others. So like basically, if you learn how to fish, you can train others how to do that stuff. So that's what I'm pitching up. Anyway, yeah. Let's see. What else do we have here? Again, like I'm gonna remind that my laptop has, let's say, an hour and 30 minutes left. So like we'll see how long we can go. But it's actually fun talking to people, and like I'm like in the middle of the chat. Like I haven't seen the new stuff, and I've seen like a lot of people donated and stuff. Thank you. Like I haven't really followed that stuff. I haven't really gotten there because I'm like answering comments and stuff. But donations, thank you. I appreciate it. For those that asking me questions, thank you for really being interested in having me talk to you and like and showing up here, just watching. Thank you. I appreciate it. That being said, let's continue. What else do we have? Wow, like I talked about suppression a while ago, but it's interesting that I'm still in the comments of like people having suppressive families and stuff. What else? Okay, yeah, so Philoso is being sure that 99% is being blocked in the astral, and you're constantly being out in some kind of emotional labyrinth with some weird scenes. Yeah, in the astral, it's definitely a thing. A lot of people who are trying to get out of body, have astral projection, have other kind of things happening, it's like first timers. For those that have never done it, most of them are afraid that they're either not going to come into the body, or they're going to see some weird ass creepianity and they're going to be scared. So people are afraid to be attacked or to be stuck and not knowing how to get back. Like these are like main fears people have. And it's the thing. The thing is like, it's like literally physical world and out of body. Like there is this gate to you learning the truth about how things work and understanding things from your own perspective. Other people can say tons of stuff. You can hear what they say, have your own beliefs about it, but once you get out there and experience things for yourself, you're gonna know how things work. It's like an easy thing to understand and see things. To get out there is hard as fuck. For a lot of people, it's really hard to get out of body to do the astral projection, so it's a lot of work. But once you get out there, whatever I told you, whoever else you listen to, you can confirm it all for yourself. You can experience it all. And the thing is, if you get out, you have an open gate to this massive information libraries, learning things, getting better, growing, getting understanding and stuff. It's massive. And completely someone else doesn't want you to get out there. Because if you know the truth, if you know your capabilities, if you know how things work, why the fuck would you want to stay here? And why the fuck would you want to remain being a puppet, being enslaved, being playing at the limited level? It's like, in video games, let's say we have superpowers, as in like, you could like you're using cheats, but now you can activate the god mode where they can't hurt you, you have all the guns and stuff like that. Like you can use that, you can level up and you have all these things. So same thing, you get out of body, you unlock the cheat system where you learn information, you can bring it back here, you can bring other aspects or other personalities and other things here. So it's awesome, you can like learn a lot and get better. And why would anyone controlling you want to allow you to get out, to understand things, to get better, to get stronger, to understand that you are a godly being, and finally you're out there and you can beat their ass just like that? They don't want that. So a lot of people who are trying to get out of body, who are doing this, will meet blockages as in like, people get out of body and they open their eyes and they're in this complete like black structure. Like they're trapped in this square box or some other place, and it's all set up for them. Like the scenario of what you're gonna see, what you're gonna experience is set up, and there are gonna be some entities that are trying to scare you, trying to fuck with you, trying to trap you, pushing you back into the body, like lots of little blockages. So people who are new to this, they're gonna really try to mess with you and block you from that. Because if you get out, you become God. You become like the creator being, and you know the cheat codes. They don't want that. So definitely, there's lots of traps, and how to avoid it all. It's like having to confront. If you can have the confront to like, okay, I might get fucked with. But the thing is, if you realize that with your imagination, you can do absolutely everything. And for example, you're out there and you see creepy ass ant and you're like, I don't want to interact with that. And again, they target our worst fears. Like in this Harry Potter movie where they open this like wardrobe and they're gonna have this like someone else's fear pop up, like a snake or a spider or someone else. If you have certain fears, if you have fear of meeting certain entities and like beings, they're gonna try to use that against you because they're gonna target your fears. If they can target something you're afraid of to keep you in the body, they're gonna do that. So if you're aware of their tactics and you're sort of aware of your own possibilities, it's like, okay, they're gonna try to scare me. But I know that if I think of something and if I put my intention, I can turn that being into a watermelon, into a bubblegum, into a little kitty cat, whatever. It's up to you. You can turn them into something, or you can like pull up this massive machine gun or something else and like kick their ass. Whatever. You can turn yourself into any kind of character, use your powers and stuff. So if we know how to use our powers with the imagination and stuff, when we get out there, they're fucked. So it's a thing, but like the best thing to do is to sort of learn as much as possible about how things work, your possibilities, practice it daily by imagining stuff, by daydreaming. It's okay. You're not just imagining shit and making it up. You're creating it. You're the creator, and that's your power. So I think say let's go to some more questions. Okay. Are some of our past life memories like false implants? Yes. That's a big one. I'm seeing a lot of these soul traps in places where people get messed with. For example, like where it is your body and somewhere alive that gets messed with, or your other aspects. A lot of times they try to capture us. They being specific groups. Sometimes it's reptilians, sometimes it's other humans, sometimes it's mantis, tortoise beings, other races. Lots of them. It's not like reptilians are always at fault. Like no, there's plenty of them. Like even humans are like fucking assholes out there. It's like you're like, do you think a pedophile is good? No. Do you think all humans are good? No. Do you think all humans are bad? No. So specific people you're gonna meet there is gonna be the thing. Coming back to the thing. Like literally, like people get captured, and like there's so many ways to implant people, to fuck with them, to really cause this damage where, like you're caught up, you're being zapped, and people are like constantly sort of like implanted as if like where they're injected or they're like sort of turned into a program where they're connected, and like they're sitting in this chair in this stasis, for example, for millions of years, for doesn't matter how long, and every day they show that person like a movie. And each movie is like they pull you into there, like like we get out of body, they pull you out to that reality. So now you're playing a role that's going to be set up, and it cause as many incidents as possible, like trying to have you fall in love and make it so traumatic though that when you come back, you're going to have false implants of, let's say, oh, in my past life I had like weird like relationships and it's going to like not working out, and you start having a beliefs about how you are and how your life is, and when you get here, it affects the physical life here. So we have a lot of beliefs about how we are, how we're acting, how we're feeling. Oh, I'm feeling this because like it was just this way from the childhood. Like, no. Like you have to track it back, like not just from the childhood, like it comes back like even earlier. We have to find the origins. And a lot of times we can realize it like, hey, false implant. I didn't live that. It was just like implanted in me, and we live our whole life as like, let's say, poor people, or like in this victim zone and stuff, not being able to take our powers because we think that this is the way it is. So tons of these passive implants, tons. And again, like I think my prime is saying, you can definitely remove these things. You can definitely get rid of it and like sort of free yourself from that. So yeah, how? I feel like having the memory, or like let's say awareness. Let's say you're like looking at these issues, like look at your life and notice the place where you see some abnormality, some place where you're more triggered, you're reacting to it like not naturally. For example, why are you being so shy? Why can't you say no? Why do you have issues? Why do you get triggered by specific phrases, by specific people, by specific things? So you look at certain stuff and look at what triggers you exactly. Where did it all start? You don't remember here? Imagine, in your past life you got fucked over. What happened in your past life, for example? And you spin a story of what possibly happened in your lifetime, but why would you make up all that shit? People, when they're asked, like, okay, imagine what happened in your past life, and you tell a story, 99% of the time, you're not just spinning a story, you're recalling it without really being aware of it. We're like, oh, like, you're coming up with the story because you experienced, you lived it, you know it. And the thing is, like, when you hear people talking about stuff, it's like you have a filter. You're gonna know where people are bullshitting you. When you're listening to someone, deep inside, you know they're telling the truth or not, and you can trust it because you lived it, because you had the same experience in your past life and you resonate with it. Like, oh yeah, I know this thing. Like, you might not have experienced it here, but you know it's possible. You know it's a thing. So while you're listening to others, you have this filter within that will tell you where this is truth or not, and this is how you can tell whether you're shitting yourself or not, where you're telling yourself that your past life is real or not. So if I ask you, what did you do in your past life? You might spin yourself a story, but you'll know if it's true or not. And it's okay. Like, don't doubt yourself. Don't dwell yourself like, oh, I don't know if it's true. I'm just like sort of like saw a little glimpse and stuff. Like, no. Whatever you're seeing, put it out there. Why would you make up this shit? Anyway, let's go. Let's go to more comments. Yeah, the law of karma. Is it like real, or do we like? Is it like pretending to make us like reincarnate repeatedly? It's definitely like karma. From my point of view, is definitely a trap. It's a way to trap people, have them reincarnate here, because it doesn't happen out there. For example, all the people that like let's say are killers here, or pedophiles, or like bad people here, once they pass away, once their physical body drops dead, they're free. They might have killed millions of people. They might have been pedophiles. No one's going to charge them for stuff. No one's going to go like, oh, you have to reincarnate because you've been bad. They don't have their conscience is like, I did a bad thing. A fucking psychopath who kills people, who is a pedophile, does not think like, I'm guilty because I raped kid. Like, no, they had fun. And so they're enjoying it. They have no guilt sense. So why would they think like, I've been a bad person, I need to reincarnate and stuff. Like, I need to change my life up and that's the next life. Like, it doesn't happen. Like, they're free. And after being a fucking asshole, they can live on and do other stuff. It's really horrible because like a lot of people, a lot of like this, like some New Age movements, religions, and other people like beings are pushing this, like, like karma. If you are bad, you have to sort of like, like burn in hell and shit like that, and like get better and like sort of, fuck you. Like literally, it's all madness from my perspective. But anyway, yeah, it's such an easy way to tell us a story, because a lot of people like hear us, we assume or we see ourselves as good beings. We know who we are. We know we're false. We know when we act shitty, but we know that deep inside we like to help people. We know we want to feel better. We want to understand the world. So if someone says, "Hey, you fucked up. You made me feel bad," you're gonna like, "Oh, I'm sorry, mate. Like I didn't mean that." So we're gonna feel kind of guilt. We want to make it better. And some people have it hardcore. You're gonna spin a story for them. Like a good salesperson can spin such a story that you're gonna go for it. And that's all they want. Spin a story to get you, and you're sold. And now you're basically reincarnating again. So like it happens a lot. It happens so much. Yeah, what else? Yeah, David Turner is saying that the teachers are trained to be suppressive. It's called teaching. It's such a thing. Definitely. Like in Lithuania, like the way we're like in my school, there were some badass people where, they come to class and like literally like I had some Russian teachers like she was old. Hi Kitty. She was like old and it's okay, like age is not a thing. Bless you. But like she wasn't interested in teaching, so she just comes and gives you a book like okay read that stuff, and she just like lays there and like just sits around and waits around. So chemistry teacher says like like she's drinking alcohol during the class and has her legs like on the table, and like we're gonna write a test, so like she's like write your own zodiac sign and you're gonna get a 3 out of 10, so like you got a better score and stuff. But some people are fucked up. Some people are there for the money, like it's okay, teachers a job and stuff like that. Some people are there for the money, but like I've met some teachers who want to teach, who have a whole different way of understanding life, and like for example teaching not by the book. It's a whole new thing, and it's like those were the best. Those were the most amazing teachers I interacted with. They're more like friends, like they're like a mentor, someone I look up to, and like they can set an example. So yeah, having said, let's look into more of that stuff you people are talking about. Like it's actually pretty neat. I'm still at the middle. I came up with the comment where like, or actually where the Iraq donated, so thank you. But anyway, I'm gonna let my cat out. He wants some freedom. Okay. And back to business. Okay. What else do we have here? Wanna come in and say hi? Hey y'all.
Hello, everybody. How you doing?
Yeah.
I've been watching her in the other room a little bit.
You were.
Just a little.
Hey, come on.
I didn't want to interrupt you, though.
Thanks. So yeah, I'm just like still pretty engaged and stuff. Cat wanted out.
Yeah. Enjoy yourself, and I'll talk to you folks later.
Good.
Bye.
All right. So there it is. You meet the master himself. All right. What else do we have here? Okay. I'm still like really in the bottom of the comment section, so sorry about being so slow. Not really. I'm enjoying this. Still reading the comments. I might like I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like I have to talk, but at the same time, I like reading the comments to myself to understand it and then talk about it. So, just saying. Yeah, like Sage, notice that it's hard to get from parasites. They have a hard time leaving you alone, you notice, and you're wondering about this. So yeah, parasites and having a hard time for them to leave. There's a lot of things about it. Sometimes you might work on specific like entities or clusters of beings, and you want to get rid of them. But let's say you get rid of them, and you think it is this cluster and it's sound. But a lot of times, it's like how should I say it? Like there's a bunch of these entities, like there can be hundreds of thousands, and there's like 1,000 of them are working at you at a time, and they're all regarding this like anxiety or some depression and stuff. So it's like 1,000 of them jump on you at a certain time, and you get rid of them, another one comes in. So you constantly keep getting rid of them, but there's another one coming in constantly. So if you have a hard time getting rid of, let's say, entities, parasites, and other stuff, look for the hierarchy. Look who's above them, who's commanding them, where are they coming from, their source and stuff. If you can find this whole hierarchy stuff and take out the boss, you win. Because like now, the whole thing falls apart, and you can actually break the system. Okay. Have you ever been referred to Maria Haska, and have you ever seen her? No, none of that. Like I haven't used ayahuasca, and I haven't seen beings called that way. But yeah, no connections that really like I haven't had experiences with that yet. But something to explore, definitely something to look into. I'm just reading comments right now, like looking what is it I can answer and stuff. Okay, how can you go from lucid dream to the astral realm or out of body? It's a thing. In a lucid dream, let's say you are partly out of body, but you are not fully aware. So let's say you're in a lucid dream, you have more creativity, you can create stuff, you can affect things, you can fly, you can create your own realms and stuff, but you're not fully out here. To get out from lucid dream to out of body, the best thing for me to do is, let's say, just be present. For example, just stand here and look into your own arms, look into your hands and stuff, and now pay attention. You have to become aware that you're aware. You have to become fully awake. So like now that you're looking at your hands, you're paying details at every single line in your hand, and you're looking into that, you're like paying attention, and you can like literally try to, like how we're like in bed and we're trying to roll, or like various techniques to get out of body. You can try doing that when you're in lucid dream state. For example, you can actually lay down and try rolling. Like say, okay, here's my body, I'm gonna roll out of this and see if that works. So there's like whether you're paying more attention, you're becoming more focused, so focused that you're actually like blow it off, like blow up this whole like from a dream state into the OBE, or simply like while you are in the lucid state, using various out of body techniques to get out. That works for me. So there's just a few, but there's a whole lot more. All right, let's see what else we have here. Yeah, go to sleep and wake up in the middle of the night is definitely a thing. For me, I was like sometimes I can just like let's say get up in the middle of the night just because I want to go to the bathroom. I get up, I go to the bathroom, I go back to bed, and it's a thing. Or a thing you can try, like let's say to get out of body, is to practice that not before you want to go to sleep. And that's actually one of the topics I wanted to talk about today. Like a lot of people want to get out of body, but they're practicing it too late. They're practicing it at the time when they actually want to fall asleep. Most of you, when you get back from work after a hard day, after all these things, you lay back in bed like, finally, you finally relax and you get there. You finally get to relax and feel good. And you want to be there. You don't want to interact with this world. You don't want to go on more adventures and stuff. You just want to chill. You want to relax. You want to sleep. And people try to get out of body when they really want to sleep, which means you're sort of objecting yourself, or sort of like, I want to get out of body, but I want to sleep. So like you're putting sleep over the top, which means allow yourself to get rest, but it's like work on your belief system. Like I said, like these like release questions when you're trying to, let's say, like go deeper into your belief system. People want to get out of body, but they want to sleep, and it's two things that object each other. You want to be fully awake when you're out there, but you want to sleep. You want to disconnect from this world, and these things, they are opposing each other. They're not working. So you have to practice getting out of body when you are awake, when you're rested. And even though you might like I'm fully rested and awake, and now I'm going to practice out of body, and you might not get out right at first, but you're working. You're working when you're fully awake, and when you go to bed, you're not opposing yourself. You're like just letting it be. Like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep now. But like there's a thing where, let's say, I've looked at my earlier videos, but like you can like postulate the thing like where, let's say, you can set an alarm clock on your phone, or you can decide like, okay, I'm gonna wake up at a certain time. When you decide it, you put a rule for yourself, and once you have a rule, you can get out and do stuff. But like like for example, okay, I'm gonna get up at 7 a.m. Your body has an alarm. Your body follows you. So at the 6:55, you're gonna get up, and it's 5 minutes before your clock and stuff. Like, hey, I'm awake. Thanks, body. So you can do the same thing. Like, okay, I'm out of body. I'm fully awake. And you go to sleep, but you put yourself a command, and boom, you're out there. And another thing, most of people are focusing on getting out of body, or having astral projection, or having lucid dreams, not having the memory. Most people want to get out, and you do get out. A lot of people get out of body, but their memory is being wiped. So if you don't remember shit, it's as good as you've never been out. So a lot of times, like it would be good if you become aware of what exactly you want. Like, sort of start practicing when you're fully awake. That, like, change it up. It's not like you try one technique, and if it didn't work out, you're never gonna get out. It's not like if you try one technique for 10 times this, you're not gonna get out. It's like you have to work your ass off. It's that thing where people have tons of blockages, and it's gonna be pretty hard. So you have to work your ass off, really work it, do it daily, one thing a day at least, to try to get out, and keep pushing it. Okay, then didn't work today, I'm gonna try tomorrow, and again and again and again. But you keep trying and working, and eventually, it's like we want to build muscle. You lift weights for one time, you're not gonna gain it. You're almost like, hey, we did something cool. Now what? You have to work your ass off, burn the calories, work, like really work every day, or as much as possible. And after a month, you see like, hey, my body's looking better. 2 months, 3 months, a whole year. Now you're looking shredded and stuff. So literally, if you want to play an instrument, if you want to get muscles, you work and you put the work in. If you want to get a body, same thing. You have to practice every day. And after that, work on remembering stuff. Whether you keep your dream journal or you put this intention like, hey, I'm gonna get our body and remember everything. It's a thing. And I've made videos about other races, like let's say called like Eltrons. You can ask them to pull you out of body and ask them to make sure that you have the memory when you come back. It's definitely a thing. Like I've tried working with them. They pulled me out of body like 7, 8 times now. And like I tried to fuck myself over. I said like make sure I can't get out of body so that I'm fully blocked and see if that's gonna work. So like when I'm trying to talk with the beings, I have to like sort of put the work in it to really let's say work like mess up my work schedule because like I need to get our body to work on people, and then like I'm trying to experiment with other races. Like say how can they help me? I know a lot of people want to get a body, so I have to see if, like first-hand experience, see it on myself, and if it works for me, I can recommend it to others. So there's that. But yeah, lots of things. Wow, it's actually so amazing to see people talking about these topics. Like it's great. And no, it's just amazing to me that like so many people are watching me right now. Like, thank you again. Like, I don't know if I'm saying it enough or showing enough, but I'm really grateful for you being here and being interested. Like, it's crazy. So yeah, thanks. Okay, what else? I'm reading comments right now. Hope you don't mind like a quiet minute or so. Okay, they're just saying that I began to imagine that one mythical animal takes away or can be, say, remove entities from me. I don't know if it helps or is it enough to scare them off at least. But yeah, Dido, it's an awesome way. Yeah, that is a good point. I haven't tried it myself, but it's really great to see him experimenting and trying out new ways. Yeah, imagining a mythical animal, or let's say anyone like you, like your own guardian. You can create yourself, put it any way you want, but give them a role to protect you, to scare off the entities. And it's a thing. Let's say there's this technique where let's say you have 4 corners of your room or like in your bedroom, and in each corner you put this warrior that's going to protect you, and then this warrior can, like, let's say, make sure like it's protecting you from entities, not letting you to get abducted and stuff. And these warriors, the sentinels, whatever you want to call them, they can be puppies, they can be bears, they can be, let's say, some warrior-looking beings, anime characters, anything. So it's up to you, your creativity, and you put them in each corner of your room. So now they're gonna like protect you. Now you can put it in your whole house, in your whole neighborhood, and expand it in lots of ways, in your friends' places and stuff like that. But basically, you program them. You give them a command to protect you, to make sure, like, if there are any entities, to remove them and stuff. But hey, Dido, you have an awesome point. I'm so glad you brought it up, because like I hadn't really thought of like, I'm just gonna use like some animal to scare them off and stuff, but it's really good. So it's awesome. Is it okay if you make me in your RPG? Definitely go for it. if you want that, like, no worries, mate. So my chat just jumped a whole lot back, and I'm not sure how much of you have I missed and stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I probably lost tons of the chat. Now I'm just like jumping through the comments because like lots of comments. So like, whoops, scrolling up. Let's see, where are we right now? There's so many people with you. Wow. Okay, so right now I'm reading the comment section where you're talking about my cat. Can the cat surf with me in the astral plane? Oh, yes, he can. There are like a few times where I pull my cat out of her body, and a few times where I'm actually like doing stuff, and I meet some being who comes up with me like acting like my best buddy. Like, hey, like, like he pushes me, and I'm like, hey, what the hell are you doing? And he literally like says a phrase that I tell to him, like, what the hell? So literally, like, being who looks like more humanoidish, like completely not like a cat, not like a Lyrian, not like a Zootrax or anything, but literally like more like a human being. And we started playing around, like, like being like kind of like childish and like a bit antagonistic, as like poking each other and stuff like that. And next thing I find out, it's my cat. He's out of body. He has a different form. Well, it's just the other aspect of him, and like it's so amazing to like like see, like, let's say we see like an animal with us, like like our favorite puppy or whatever, and same being will have another aspect of them out there, and you can actually meet them, interact with them, talk to them. So it's great. So it's like, yeah, it's definitely recommended. Like, getting out of bodies is such a thing. If I can't recommend it enough, because like for me personally, it's the best thing in the world. Like learning things, being free, being happy. It's out there. So yeah. Okay, so I'm reading like the comment from you saying like you want to understand how I, here in this physical body, view other aspects of myself in different places that are interacting with people here on Earth while they are out of body. And if I'm correctly understanding what you're saying, basically, for me, my other aspects is just another me. Like, let's say I might have millions of bodies and I'm all out there. And like when I get out of body, or let's say I close my eyes, I shift my consciousness, I'm in my other body. It's like, hey, I tune in and I have the memory of whatever that other part of me experienced. Like Ren, like my other part, it's like, it's not like I created another being. Like, it's literally me, another aspect of me. Like, I might not have conversations like, hey, how are you doing, me? And we were gonna have conversations like, no, like, it's just like the other aspect. But like literally me doing something else somewhere else. It's cool, and I like it's just all the freedom. Like, for example, when you're out there, like in the multiverse, like out of the physical plane, or let's say even while here, you can actually use this whole matrix thing where you download information. So if you know your other aspects, you can actually look into them, ask them how you can help them. For example, giving information, doing some work on them and stuff. But at the same time, you can ask to copy information, copy your skills. So like if the other aspect of you is like really great at music or has some other strengths, you can copy paste. Like, so you copy information, copy like abilities and stuff, and put it back here. And you can do it like visually, like sitting here, like, oh yeah, like I want to learn how to play guitar or just get better and stuff. I want to have like more, I don't know, creativity and stuff, more like academic skills. And so you tune in to the other aspects of you that have it, other aspects of you that are creative, that have all these skills, and you sort of imagine it, think about it. Like, you don't have to get out of body, you don't have to see it or anything, just think about it. And now you sort of have an idea of what the other you would be like with all those abilities. And so right now you like, okay, so now I'm like, since I am godlike being, I'm putting the program of copy all those skills and put it here. And while I'm sitting here, I'm imagining myself in that place where I have all these abilities. I am creative. I have academic skills. And so like act as if. And for a moment, I'm like acting as if like, what would I feel like if I was like, I don't know, like more social, more better at communication and stuff like that. So all these aspects and stuff, I'm gonna put it here and try to act as it. But then you're sort of pulling it and becoming it. So it's all I think like like kind of like quantum jumping. I think like a Gold Bergman or something like that. So like you can try it out. But yeah, like there's a lot of information out there. What works for me best to get into the OBE form? I don't know, like for me, I worked my ass off for a whole year. I worked my ass off like every day. Like when like Rich, I think that was 2012, he had an out of body boot camp. There was like a group of people, I don't know, like 20, 30 people, maybe more. And every day we would do dailies. So like every day there's breathing, there's drinking water, there's all kinds of like toning and meditations and other things. I was working my ass off. Like I really wanted to get out of body because of certain goals I had. And every day for a whole year. Like, let's say I have to wake up in the morning and go to school. Like, I have to be at school at 8 a.m. This is when the lesson starts. So, like, let's say I'm leaving in 7:20, or I mean, like 7:30, 7:40. And so, like, I wake up at 6 a.m. to have like a whole hour for myself. Like, so let's say I take care of all the business, and now I have a whole hour to do all kinds of daily practice and stuff. And once I'm done, then I pack up and go to school. But in the morning, when I get back before bed, I would constantly spend like 30 minutes, an hour working my ass off various techniques, dailies, and like literally, you take this massive, let's say, notebook. You take something like this, and you write down, I am out of body, I am out of body, I am out of body, and like, like fill out a page or two, write it a few thousand times. Like, like Rich would give us, like, like write it 100 times. I was working my ass off and like writing 10,000 times. Like really, my hand hurts. Like, fuck, and then like I would like work my ass off. But yeah, like lots of little things. So for me to say what exactly worked, I tried tons of things every day. To give credit for one thing, the best for me is actually the mock-up technique. Let's say my physical body's, let's say, laying on the bed or sitting here in the chair, and while I'm here, like sitting, I'm gonna imagine my aspect sitting on the couch. So right now, as I'm sitting here, I literally see myself from that point of view. Like my body's right there, and I see myself talking. I'm like, huh, what a weirdo. Like I look weird from the back. Like, is my hair that messy and stuff? Huh. So like literally, like I can see myself from right there. Like I have another body right there right now, and now I'm gonna create another part of me standing here, looking at me, and now I'm gonna make the part move. So what happens? Like I create other bodies in my room throughout the whole house. I can make 1,000,000 copies of myself, and in each body, like start with a few. But in each body, like one body is here and one body is here, like another me. I'm gonna put my consciousness, like point of view, from here to there, and now I'm looking from that point of view. I'm looking from that point of view, and while I'm trying to see what it's like to be in the other body of mine, now I try to move that body and walk from the body and like go do something with that. So like as I'm moving that body, I'm out of body. And so like once I realize, hey, I'm fully out. I'm actually there. Boom. So like for me, like really trying to put my consciousness somewhere else and try to do things from that point of view. And once I do it, like I literally see myself getting out. So like for me, this one probably works the best. But there's tons of things you can do, tons of dailies, work on self, and the biggest thing is working on your memory. A lot of people can get out and get experiences, but if you don't remember stuff, so really keep the dream journal. Keep the dream journal. It's like the biggest thing. And also like set the goal. Like for example, you go to sleep and tell yourself, okay, I remember my dreams. I remember my out of body experiences. Like I'm gonna remember it tonight. So you just put it out there and go to sleep. And if anything happens, you wake up and you actually might have memories about it. Another thing, once you wake up, practice quiet mind. You wake up, try not to think about stuff. Try quiet it down. Try not to focus on anything. Because when you quiet it all, you have memories back. You're like becoming more aware of what happened. But the moment you're like, oh, what time is it? And your attention constantly shifts into this physical world, and you're so clinging on to it that whatever happened there, you leave it behind. So when you wake up from the dream or from the sleep, try not to think about anything. Quiet it here. Not a single thought, if you can, and then allow it to come in. You might get back the memories and you can finally write it down. So here's another thing you can use. Okay, what else do we have here? Still reading about the cat stuff. Okay, so here's Tamo G asking, do I have any videos about protection? Kind of meditation to learn to protect Earth from myself. So yeah, do I have any videos about it? I don't know. I don't know if I have it. Yeah, like I'm not really like keeping a track of what kind of things I talked about really. But yeah, videos about protecting ourselves. I think if I talk about entities like soul conscious and stuff like that, that's probably the main stuff, like on how to protect ourselves, but like really depends on what specifically we're talking about. Yeah, and just now, like David Turner, seeing you donate like $5, like thank you, I appreciate it. Like it's way too much from you, knowing how much you pay for the services and stuff. So thank you. All right, so right now I'm reading comments, and Artist Coral is saying 2025, dark force is gonna be defeated and all the truth gonna come out. Aliens gonna come, all technology gonna be revealed, and we gonna have free technology. Do you think it's likely or not? Likely or not, it's a thing. The information is slowly coming out. Like, really depends on which timeline we choose to go into. It's like really, if we set our belief system into the governments are finally free of the control of the dark beings and people are fully aware and conscious and they're into the full percent helping into humanity and making sure like they're like taking care of their well-being, it's gonna happen and then we choose to create a different reality. But like when we choose to focus, like how do I put it? Each and every one of us is a creator being. Whatever we focus on, we create. So every time we focus on something negative, like we look at the social media, we look at the TV and other stuff, and they're gonna have all these negative, bad news. They're gonna put us all like Corona shit and like scare tactics and other things, and like our attention is stuck on something negative. We're gonna think about bad stuff. Whatever we focus on, we create. When millions of people or billions are focused on something negative, this massive community manifests something negative. If we are able to disconnect from this bullshit and finally tune in into something we together believe in and want to create, I believe we can have a better world. To say that all the technology is going to be revealed and we're going to have free energy, 50-50, I'm like, there's so much shit going on right now. Like, I want to believe it. I want to believe that stuff, but it's like a gamble. Like I'm not choosing a side here. For myself, I'm like busy with my own world, like where I like stopped really caring about the stuff. I don't know if it's good or not, but whatever. Let's see. Zero Infinity, labas, man sekasi gerai. It's actually nice to see that like I have people from all over the world, and there's actually some fellow Lithuanians here too. Okay, I sort of feel the question mark. So Fabian is saying, I find there's a big difference between sleeping and dreaming outside in nature and sleeping and dreaming in a house room. Massive difference. I actually noticed it myself. I was thinking of how bed is actually the anchor. It's such an easy way to program us. We go to bed and we are anchored there. So like spiritually, like we're like, bed, and you lay in there, you finally relax, and like it's like you're drawn there. Like it's like you're falling into it. And like I like laying on my bed the other day, like at my parents' place, and it felt so good. I was just like so relaxed, so good. And I was like, why am I feeling this way? All of a sudden I'm sleepy and like I just lay down there, like I'm not tired or anything, like, and I'm just feeling this like massive jaw. And I focus on this feeling and I'm like noticing it's as if like there's this like cord pulling me down like from my stomach area, from my neck area, my legs, and it's as if like energetically I'm pulled down. And I'm focusing on it. I'm like, hey, this is like a fucked up thing. So basically the place where we live, our usual place where we sleep, is quite likely programmed by others to have us anchored. So our body is anchored and stuck here, and we cannot get out. We're trying to get out of body, and we're like really anchored. We can't get out. We're grounded. So if you try to get out of body, try practicing in a new place. Like I'm really noticing, like for example, when I go see my grandparents, or like say stay in new places, it's like scientifically like, oh, you're sleeping in a new place, so like most of your brain will stay awake to make sure like like you're actually safe and stuff. Like there's that scientific part, whatever. But another part is like hey, you're in a whole new place, you're more awake, and like you're not being grounded anymore. It's like it's like for me it's much more freedom. So actually, yeah, if you want to get out of body, try sleeping in other places. Let's say try taking a nap in your chair, sometimes napping in a bathtub. Make sure it's not too full of water and you don't kill yourself and drown and stuff. But like I know some people like actually like to have some water and like chill and stuff and relax and they take naps in the bath and stuff. Other places, but yeah, sleeping in other places is definitely helpful. And I'm just scrolling down, like I'm seeing like William Murphy. Thank you for the donation. I really appreciate that as well. Yeah, you people are sure talkative. Like I really appreciate that. Like I really appreciate your interest in just like even if it's most of this chat like doesn't have to be like to me, but you talking to each other, having this community interested in these topics, like so awesome. So again, thank you for staying here, tuned in, and 2 hours. Oh my god, it's actually amazing. But yeah, like I think I'll be wrapping it up in about a few minutes. I still have to look at your lots of other comments, but like my laptop has like about like 30 minutes left, if we're lucky. So I don't want to abruptly like, oh shit, like so end this stuff. But we'll see. Like I'm still answering questions and engaged, but I'm just saying like a little note that we'll probably be wrapping it up soon. Yeah, it's so cool. So many people here. Hello from Japan. Hi there. Konnichiwa, or actually konbanwa from my end. Okay, so right now I'm just reading comments and trying to catch those with the question mark. Ich do I speak German? No, I don't, but I know a few words. That's it. Like, no, like, we don't need to sort of go with that, but anyway, like, yeah, I just know a few basic words, but that's where it ends. um, Joe Bristow is saying he just made a video yesterday how we are in physical. It's like we're in the car and we think we are in the car. Yeah, it's actually interesting. Joe Bristow, if anyone sees this comment, feel free to go to his channel and check him out. It's actually pretty neat. Other people are here, creators as well, so it's like I'm interested in your content. Feel free to pull your links out there and stuff. It's cool. I'm not sure if that question about German was for me, but I'm just saying. Yeah, there's a lot of people who know more languages, which is awesome. Okay, so Aquila, if you look into the Pokemon Showdown website, it's good to play with fans, so we can go on your lives. Pokemon Showdown website. Okay, let's actually Google that. Like, I'm gonna go on the website right now. Maybe not download it, but like, it's definitely something to try. Pokemon Showdown. Pokemon Battle later, play Pokemon Battles online, play with friendly tournament teams, or build your own fully animated. Sounds fun. Yeah, we can definitely try that. It's been a while since I played games. It's been a while. For those that are wondering if I finished Death Stranding, I didn't, and it's actually funny because Rich was cleaning up PS4, and like we had a lot of stuff deleted to save up some space. So Death Stranding save is deleted as well. We're just like, okay, we can start over. But yeah, it's been a while since I streamed games, and I might come back to that. Like I'm not sure. Like it's not sure what game, not sure what game to play, when to play, and if at all, and stuff like that. So yeah. That being said, let's go to more comments. I'm finally slowly catching up to you people. Hi, John Roberts. It's good to hear from you. You tend to get goosebumps when you hear something true. It's such a thing. It's definitely a thing. Like literally, we have this filter, and whenever we hear something that really resonates with us, we get a signal. We know it's definitely a thing. Like our body gives us a thing consciously. Like like deep inside, we know. Like we might feel how like fuck yeah, like you get fired up and stuff. Like people have various reactions, but it's such a thing. Let's see. There's so many comments. So it's awesome. Okay, are these psychopaths darker souls? Is this why they do things they do and get by with? With the psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists, the thing is, they're still conscious beings just like us. Same as you and me and everyone else. It's just like when we come here, when we choose any kind of body, we choose what kind of life we want to play and what kind of role we want to be in and stuff like that. And a lot of times, you play a game and you choose what kind of character you play. And a lot of times it's actually fun playing a character where you can kill people, where you can be a little bit bad, when you can actually be different than you're here. You create yourself the way you want to. You have all the freedom. You're playing GTA and you're driving car without actually going following the right road rules and stuff like that. So people want to have this freedom, and same thing here on Earth, same thing in other places. There are a lot of reptilians out there who are into learning, or into finally really using their body up to the fullest percent, but not into killing. Like reptilians are not into killing, which is weird because a lot of people, a lot of humans are into that, and it's not like they're darker souls, same as us, no difference. It's just that that being chooses to play differently, and it's up to their choice. It's not like there's something wrong with them. It's just their role. They like it, and which is the creepy thing about it. Because even after that, even after let's say people kill others, people can be pedophiles, people can be bad. They're not going to go to hell necessarily. It's all, by my opinion, it's all our belief system territory. So if we believe that, let's say I can be a good person or a bad person, whatever I believe in will happen. And if I don't believe in hell, I'm not going to go there. If I believe that, okay, after this life, I'm going to carry on and do something new. Okay. And again, we talk about psychopaths as if they're really bad beings. And, from this perspective, from us being the victims, from we seeing whatever is happening to others, it's really bad. But at the same time, imagine living for quadrillions of years as a good being. You get bored. You always have the same relationships. You always have the same people. You always turn the other cheek, and you get slapped, and you become a victim. Hey, thank you for touching me. And you're playing this role. No one likes to be fucked up for too long. You can play good being for long enough to where you're I wonder what it's like if I actually didn't turn another cheek and actually sat them back. And what would it be like if you used some power, if you actually fought back? And so we started trying out new things. And me and many others had past lives where we are warriors, where we are in the war, where we're killing others, where we are trying out our new perspectives, new character traits, or new bodies. And we might be complete assholes. We might be killers. We might be psychopaths. We might be trying out the dark side. And the thing is, there's four flows. People abusing us abusing them, people abusing each other, and us abusing ourselves. So we do all that. We might be fucking ourselves over. We might watch other people do it to others and stuff like that. There's all kinds of cycles, and we experience that. So they're not their beings. They're choosing this role, and from this point of view, when we are the victims, it's really bad. But if we switched it, and we actually, okay, I want to play this specific role where I have full control and I can do whatever I want and fuck the system. And we're having fun, and it's so much freedom, and we're feeling great, and we're living up to our fullest and enjoying life. And why is everyone pointing finger at me, calling me a psychopath, you motherfuckers? It happens. So no, they're not darker souls. They're simply beings having different kind of point of view, wanting to play different role. And we all play that. We all been there at some point. Right now, we're playing humans. We're playing nice, but you're not gonna play the same role. Imagine literally playing Star Wars, and you're always playing Luke Skywalker. You're always being this good guy. You're always fighting it. Have you ever wondered what would the game be if you played Darth Vader, Yoda, some other character? So eventually, after millions of same playthrough, you want to try a new character. You want a new DLC. You want a new gameplay, and you try out what it's like to play with that character. It's actually fun. It's actually new, exciting. So there's that. So that's how I see life. But yeah, it's a thing. People are asking if I'm in America or Lithuania. I'm right now in Lithuania. I am back. Yeah. Let's see. The original creator of this reality. Have I ever talked to him or her? Yeah, I see her every day in the mirror. The thing is, the way I see the creator of this reality and everything else, me, you, and everyone else, when we call about the source, it's not the place, it's us. When we talk about gods, it's us. So eventually the consciousness creates everything. We're conscious, we do things and stuff. So I see ourselves as the creators, and eventually we are responsible for this bullshit. So yeah. All right. So I'm scrolling down. Let's see, where are we right now? Holy cow! Like, Gabriel. Oh God. Wow, you people like Sage, Gabriel Baca. Thank you for donations and stuff. Is amazing. Right now, I'm like trying to scroll down the chat to the bottom. Let's see. Darius has a question. Or sometimes when I have a dream and I'm near waking up, I have thought like, wait, I want to be here a little more, and then I wake up knowing that my dream cut off such an interesting point. How to explain this? Yeah. That's the place where we're like, let's say in the lucid dream, or like let's say in a dream, and we're becoming more lucid. We're like finally becoming more like, hey, I'm actually out of my body. I'm actually not in this physical. I'm somewhere else, and you're enjoying that. So you finally become aware, and a lot of times people are actually pulled of that. Like there are beings that are aware. It's like, hey, they're becoming awake. They're gonna find out, and if they are there, they might get out of body and find too much. So we're becoming aware, which is a good thing. But then a lot of times there's a third party who's gonna pull us out. Who's gonna like, hey, no, that's enough now, and they're gonna make us fully like, hey, fuck, I want to go back, and like you sort of like have this fuck up. So like there might be another party trying to mess you up, but at the same time, a lot it has to do with our vibration. When we're like finally like, hey, I want to stay here long. I'm dreaming. So like our vibration changes. It's like I was making a video about how to see energy, and like right now you're looking at your hand and you look at it like without any emotions. So you're like at this neutral state. You look at this and you start seeing like the energy around your fingers and stuff. And the more you look at it, you sort of focus on it and you can expand energy. But the thing is, you have to stay in this neutral state. Not happy, not sad, neutral. Nothing affects it. So same way in our body or like in dreams, when we want to leave, we get this place where we are neutral. When you finally start waking up and becoming like, hey, I'm dreaming, I want to be here, your vibration changes. You become more aware. You get excited. Your tone changes into like, I want to stay here. Maybe you get angry. Maybe you get sad. Maybe you get excited. Like, hey, I want to be here. And all of a sudden, you get too excited that you wake yourself up. So literally, sometimes there's another party trying to mess us up. Sometimes it is us getting too excited, getting too like changing our vibration, and like all of a sudden like sort of oops, like fucked it up again. so there's that. But yeah, so I guess with that note, there's a lot of questions, there's a lot of talks and stuff, but I better wrap it up. I have a little bit of my laptop energy left. So that being said, I guess I'll be wrapping it up. But hey, you people, you're very wonderful. I appreciate you here tuning in all. I had no idea it's gonna be so fun, or there's gonna be so many of you. Like I just tuned in and thought like, hey, I'm gonna be by myself, maybe talk about something and see what happens. But you're crazy people. Thank you so much. Like you really make me happy. So we're gonna wrap it up. I have the chat. I'm gonna save the chat to make sure if I have questions that I haven't answered, I might make videos about it. But again, like feel free to write me emails and stuff, like villasava@yahoo.com. You can like find my YouTube description videos and stuff. It's such a pleasure talking to you all, and I appreciate all the donations. I appreciate all the questions. You being here, watching me, giving me your attention means so much to me. So yeah, we should do it more often. We should like it's like it's fun. This is fun for me, and I hope like I give some value to you. Like I hope you're getting something out of me. Like really, this whole time I had a lot of fun talking to you all, and it's good to see so many people that I know, like from my chat, from who were with me like for all these like years. I mean, like I've been on YouTube for about a year and a half and so, but still, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So you take care of yourself. You have a great day, great morning, great night, and I will see you next time. And hopefully we're gonna do more of these streams. So again, thank you all. Thank you, David, Donnie, John West, Dan. I'm Yahweh and Free Spirit, everyone. Thank you so much. So see you next time. Bye-bye.